I'm wondering if this book is written in blood, or at least signed in blood, because the credits are in blood. Written by Donald M. Hatfield. Directed. Where's the women involved in this production? It's called Molly Grows Up.
Held anymore. The whole church is lighted with candles. First wedding I've ever been to. And golly, you should have seen the bride.
Golly.
Best I've ever seen. All like that.
We don't know you. Why are you talking to us?
Coming, Peggy. I gotta go now. Bye.
My goodness, Molly is certainly growing up.
Yeah, look at that ass. Meanwhile, in another movie...
Hi, Miss Jensen.
Good morning, girls.
We want to play with you forever.
Doesn't hurt at all anymore.
Well, you'd better stop by my office and let me take a look at it. It won't take a minute.
Okay.
Okay, Molly, let's take a look. Oh, yes. Oh, that's clearing up just fine.
That's definitely a throat.
Ready for the game tonight?
Oh, sure is.
Will you please let someone else do the cheering for you? Because that throat is still slightly inflamed.
Okay, I'll be careful.
And nobody licks your cheers,
Oh, by the
Molly,
way,
so
Molly,
shut up.
Your mother left her gloves over at my house last night. Will you take them to her?
Sure, she's always leaving them someplace. See you later.
Okay.
If the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. Dear Diary, I hate Molly.
You know, I've known Molly and her family ever since she first came to school. And I think you might like to know her, too.
But it'll cost you $50. Molly's a
Molly lives
whore.
at home with her father, her mother,
Her mother looks like a dude.
and her older sister, Jeannie.
They're a bunch of trannies. None of them are girls.
Jeannie and Molly each have their own rooms.
And her sister,
But
Minnie
lately
Pearl.
it seems that Molly is more interested in Jeannie's room than her own. Molly and Jeannie get along, well, about as most sisters do.
Molly! What do you think you're doing? Nothing, Jeannie. I just happened to come in and...
Fall and land on your lipstick with my face.
Honestly, Molly, how many times have I asked you to leave my things alone?
Yeah, get out of my things, Molly.
You didn't get all the lipstick off either.
Spoil sport.
Oh, I wasn't going to hurt your old things. I just wanted to try them. Well, why didn't you ask Mom for some things of your own? You're old enough now.
These are the biggest rolling papers I've ever seen. You could roll them a big joint with this.
Jeannie, when do you think I'll start having periods too?
As soon as you become a
I
real
don't
girl.
know. Pretty soon, I suppose. I was 13 when I started.
Right after
Well,
sleepaway
Peggy's already
camp.
started hers, and I'm 6 months older than she is. Well, so what? Some start earlier, some later. We're all different. And from the way you've been acting lately, shouldn't be long now.
Yes, you've been really crabby and bitchy. Winifred wants to chime in.
One day, not long after that, Molly came home from school. That you, Molly? Hi, what kind of a day did you have today?
Mom, guess what?
I don't know. What?
Mom, I started my first period.
And all the animals followed me home by the smell of blood.
Come on, sit down. Tell me about it. When did it start?
Well, it was this afternoon when I was changing into my gym clothes, and I noticed a bit of blood on my panties, and golly, at first I thought, well, I didn't know what to think.
And then all of a sudden there was blood everywhere.
Oh, it was bloody awful, Mom.
And stuff. Well, then I went to see Miss Jensen.
Oh, my goodness.
The mother looks like the bad guy from RoboCop. It's like Lawrence Bodiger.
Well, I was hoping it would
Just
start
give me
tonight.
my fucking phone call.
I've forgotten everything you've told
Who
me.
played Red, the
All right,
dad
I
on
tell you
that
what we'll do.
70s show.
Tonight will be mother and daughter conference night. And if you'll give me a hand with supper, we'll get started that much earlier.
Okay, I'll wash up and be right down.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Golly.
Totally looks like Lawrence Bodiger.
Won't be long at all before you're quite used to it. You see, honey, menstruation is perfectly normal. It happens every month. Sit
Menstruation.
up, dear.
But why each month, Mom?
Oh, it's just
'Cause you
part of being a
angered
woman,
God.
I guess. Of course, right at first you probably won't be very regular. Most girls don't settle down for a year or so. Even then,
is
some
that
girls
because
go
of
more
that?
than a month
Oh,
between
too.
periods and others less. That's normal, too. And eventually
And make
your
her
body
close her
will
legs. Look at the way she's
regular
sitting.
What the?
She's got a spot all over the couch.
Mom, I'm comfortable.
Well, if you sit and stand straight, that'll give the organs inside your body room to function better.
I hate it when I lean on things and my organs stop working. Whenever I bend over to tie up my shoes, my liver stops.
Sure, just a minute, I'll ask. Mom?
Now, you see, it's that kind of mentality. It was like, well, if you do it from behind, then the girl won't get
I'll
pregnant.
be home by 5:30.
As long as she does a
No, it's
cartwheel
not
right
the first
afterwards.
2 or 3 days of your period. You might get chilled and catch cold.
Oh, that's right.
I can't go swimming. I'm
Your
gushing,
boy
Patty.
wants to go swimming. You know I've got the curse.
The curse.
That's a good idea the first couple of days. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Good heavens, Molly, you're growing like a weed. I'm going to have to let that hem down again. Come on, I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're showing too much leg, you whore.
You know, I've often wondered why it is that some women still call menstruation the curse.
'Cause it's an awful thing.
Peggy calls it that. And it is kind of a nuisance, isn't it?
Oh, it's bloody awful, honey. It's bloody awful.
Sounded sort of old-fashioned to hear you say it.
What are you two up to?
Daddy, I'm bleeding.
Jim?
Oh, not bad. Something wrong with our aerial, though. We ought to be getting a better picture than that. What was all the talk about in here?
Bleeding?
Is this a private conference?
No, I don't think so. Do you, Molly?
No, I guess not. You tell him.
Well, Jim, Molly's growing up. She's having her first menstrual period.
I thought I smelled something.
Already? Oh, but Alice, I thought... Well, I mean, after all, she's
Oh,
only...
Daddy, don't be so silly. I'm not a baby anymore.
I know, dear, but,
Next you'll want the vote.
no. No, honey, I guess you are.
Did he just check her out? Gross.
Growing up is fun. But some of the things Molly used to
Growing up is fun.
silly now. Sometimes she gets all mixed up just thinking about it.
Look how mixed up she is.
Child into an adult. And it's a little confusing at times.
It's not that confusing.
Molly had
Seagull.
lots of questions about what was happening to her. It so happened I had a chance to answer some of them.
Am I going to be able to turn into a vampire bat?
And this is true of women everywhere. So you see, menstruation is just the normal process leading up to being a mother.
See here, on this Sam Hain album cover.
And these are the fallopian tubes leading to it. And these the ovaries which produce the egg cells.
Egg cells. Egg cells, but who's buying?
An egg cell will
Egg cells, but who's
of
buying?
the tube nearest to it. And then it's on its way to the uterus.
Chomp, 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 chomp,
A
chomp.
growing place for this egg. A soft lining of blood vessels and tissues.
Bloodbeard. Bloodbeard the pirate.
The egg
Arr.
unites with a male cell or sperm as it's on its way down the tube. It is fertilized, and then when it reaches the uterus...
Oh, the eggs, they're going down the tubes, I tell you.
It begins to grow into a baby. But if the egg cell is not fertilized, it disappears.
In a bloody gush.
Then, Since the lining is no longer needed, it too dissolves away.
So long, liner.
And it flows out of the body through an opening in the hymen.
Hymen, how's it going?
Over the opening of the vagina. And so we say that we are menstruating. Yes, Barbara?
Miss Jensen, when does menstruation start?
Well,
You could go off at any time.
And some when they're 16 or 17, or anywhere in between. But the average age seems to be about 13.
No, I mean what day of the week will it start? My mother starts on Tuesday. Will mine too?
When does my shift start?
But it probably won't, because each girl's body sets up her own time and rhythm.
You're like a snowflake.
Periods may vary
A groin-bleeding snowflake.
And the flow lasts from 2 to 7 days, also depending on the girl's own rhythm.
Miss Jensen, how often should you change napkins when you're menstruating?
Well, that depends on the amount of flow, but probably 5 or 6 times a day. And that brings
An hour. And 5 or 6 times an hour.
But when you do, you will want to use a sanitary napkin to absorb the flow. It's a soft, absorbent pad, and it's made to fit over the opening of the vagina and to follow the curve of the body.
And it doubles as an ascot.
The tab ends are attached to a narrow elastic belt, which you can wear around your hips or waist.
Classy.
Now, some girls prefer to use tampons. A tampon is a cylinder of absorbent cotton inside a cardboard applicator. It is inserted into the vagina by means of the applicator.
Just push and tug.
The cotton absorbs the flow, and when it is full, you remove it and discard it.
By throwing it over the fence.
Miss Jensen, is it true that people can tell when you're menstruating?
Yes, they can smell it.
But you should be more careful than ever about personal cleanliness and dainties.
Because you have blood gushing out of you.
Be sure and use a deodorant. And pay more attention to your hair and your nails. And plan to wear your prettiest dress. In other words, be your most attractive self.
To compensate for the fact that you're bleeding out of your
As
groin.
you grow, your body changes from that of a young girl to that of a woman. It's becoming round with the beginnings of a bosom and the start of a real waistline and hips. The hair is beginning to grow.
Notice here on this Barbie picture,
And underarm hair.
which you must shave because it's dirty and filthy.
Dancing. Can you when you're menstruating?
Yes, you can, with moderation. In fact, you can do most of the things you do.
Bathe or shower.
Either shower, as long as you use warm water.
Or just have somebody spray you off in the backyard.
Be sure to dry it quickly. And you can swim if you wait until after 2 or 3 days after the beginning of your period.
Because if you leave it soggy, they'll smell the blood on you.
But it's not a very good idea to skate.
You're allowed to go on a picnic.
Volleyball and basketball, or do strenuous dancing like square dancing.
No fast
Or
games.
anything that bounces you around a lot.
So no playing tag while you're menstruating.
Ones that strengthen the abdominal muscles are particularly good. It's sensible to avoid strenuous exercise when you're menstruating. And you be sure and tell your mother or me if everything doesn't seem to be just right. Now, I'd like each of you to take one of these booklets about menstruation, and when you finish reading it, if you have any questions, be sure and come and see me.
Or just ask the pamphlet.
And remember, menstruation
Only
is
you
as
can
normal
stop
and
menstruation.
natural as eating or breathing or sleeping.
It's as natural, just not as pleasant as eating or sleeping.
Soon, Molly will be a young woman like her Jeannie, having dates, going to dances and lovely romantic
Well, I menstruate. Time to go.
with important friends. There are so many wonderful things to look forward to.
There's so many wonderful things to look forward to.
Growing up, it's an exciting time.
She doesn't look excited at all. She looks sedated. No vaginas were injured in the making of this film.